hanging out with little Dickie. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much for enjoying my cake with me. Was it delicious?
It was actually cookies. I don't want to mislead the audience, but
They were saving that money, bro.
yeah, it was great. Like, it was great cookies.
Was it delicious?
Yeah.
And actually, I found out, I wanted to do something for my birthday. I saw that you enjoy carbonated water in one of your interviews. So,
Oh man, you brought me bottles?
So
That's sick.
I don't know which one you like more. I saw you drinking San Pellegrino, which is a good choice, but
I think I like
you
Perrier
want
more.
Perrier right now?
Yeah, thank
Here
you.
you go.
This is great. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Cheers.
Cheers to my birthday. Little Dickie.
And to sparkling water in general. Totally.
It's fine. So yeah, no, like I was telling you earlier, man, it was crazy how I heard about the ex-boyfriend, but when I first heard "Let Me Freak," I was like, this straight up touched my life.
Yeah.
Like I've been there. I've been in a relationship where it's like, yo, I cleaned up, I shaved, and like that's a rare occurrence for me. I turned to Departed and it was instead of B, it was Frozen.
Same thing.
And I was like, come on, let me freak.
Right.
So like, and then I heard Save That Money. I told my boss, I was like, this needs to play now. And that's one of the things I kind of wanted to talk to you about is like how did you come up with just rapping about stuff that kind of pertains to a lot of people's real life?
Well, it seems like an obvious answer to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised that I guess, one of the few people that might be rapping about like these regular occurrences. But I guess my life is fairly normal, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I just rap about whatever I live. And I guess whatever happens is what I rap about, and it's just, I'm sure our lives aren't that too dissimilar, you know what I mean?
But it's so crazy how people are like, wow, it's like, this is like people treat it like, a fairly new concept that rap about normal life. Like, even, I'm not gonna lie, I've been there where my credit card has been declined, and I was like, yo, 5 minutes ago, we were there, we're buying lunch, like, yo, I just spent lunch on this, like, how is it declined? It's just, it's a fairly new concept, you just making music about people's lives, and what I kind of want to know is like how how did you decide, hey, I want to do rapping?
Well, I think I always kind of wanted to be like an entertainer or a comedian like my whole life, and I always knew I was going to make some sort of like big attempt at it. So I graduated college, and I thought about like the best approach, and I knew I could rap a little bit, and I knew that if I did this, I could do it myself, and there'd be like fewer barriers to entry, probably like an easier way to stand out. And I didn't think I necessarily was going to become like an actual rapper, but it just works like a sport. You just get better and better at it. So it started out as me trying to get noticed for being funny. Like I learned, wow, like you can actually rap. So thank God I picked rap. You know?
You're a smart man.
Yeah.
And then just from my before we get into Save That Money, how did Let Me Freak come together? Because for myself, I need to know. Touch my life, bro. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, I've realized that on my first mixtape, I had no song where I'm just like speaking to women trying to like have sex with them, and I feel like every rapper / R&B singer has like many songs where they're just speaking to women trying to have sex with them, So this is my first crack at it, and I thought it'd be fun. Like there's different struggles in terms of sex. Like picking a girl up at a bar is a like totally different animal than like trying to convince your serious long-term girlfriend to have sex. So, like I wanted to like really include both of those landscapes.
Isn't that struggle real though in long-term relationships though?
Oh yeah.
Like it's just like, I feel your pain. I was like, man, this Dickie's talking to me right now.
No, yeah. I mean, I've been there. We've all been there. So, yeah.
And now we're going to Save That Money. How did that come together for people that don't know? I saw the music video.
Yeah.
It was pretty much genius, man. How did you come up with it? To be honest.
Well, it starts with the song, and I thought it'd be like an interesting spin to make a rap song all about saving money, because you hear so many about spending it. So I like that component of it. I am like a very like I'm very proud of the ways in which I save money. Like I didn't just do it for like irony's sake. So I made the song, and once you make the song, you're obviously going to think about like a video. And to me, I always knew that was like my biggest song that I've made in terms of like mainstream like appeal. So I wanted the video to be pretty next level, and I thought I just couldn't be like another video. And I obviously wanted to have to do with saving money in some way, shape, or form. So there's this guy Tony Ascenda that I work with. He did Let Me Freak video, Classic Male Pregame, and we were talking, and we came up with the concept of like making like a really epic rap video, but just for completely no money, and like talking your way into it. And then I thought that it probably wouldn't work, but it seemed like there was no real downside to attempting it because it doesn't cost money. So like we went out and started trying it, and it just was working so well that like we saw like that we had something here, and we just kept going, and it really just snowballed.
Very
The more things that happened in our favor, the more we were able to use that as leverage for the next thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like, once like T-Pain, once the people were in it, we could be like, oh, by the way, the Kevin Durant, T-Pain, they're in the video. Sarah Silverman, will you be in the video? And she's like, yeah. It's like it all kind of just feeds off of one another.
What was the biggest challenge in the music video that you're like, man, I don't know?
Probably getting into the nightclub was the hardest thing, because like in LA, like a hip hop nightclub on a Friday night to film is like you can't just do that. Like there's so many permits you have to get and you have to pay, and it's so just that was. And I got the bottle for free too. Like
really?
Yeah, completely free.
Unheard of.
I know. So I got like I got like basically a sponsored night out in the town while making an epic music video. It's great.
And now the song is on the radio.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That's just the icing on the cake. And for you, you know, I always like to ask artists, like, when was that moment when you first heard your song on the radio, and what were you doing, where were you at, and like what feelings were going through your mind?
It's pathetic, but I was exiting a parking garage and I heard it on the radio, and my initial reaction was, I have to Snapchat this. And I took my phone out and I just like started Snapchatting and was like dancing, and like that really was like what I did the first time I heard my song on the radio. Was I immediately went to Snapchat.
Dang.
Which is like such a product of our generation. It's a shame.
It's okay. Hey, you know, that's at least you're honest about it. You didn't say, hey, I was in this magical moment.
No.
And unicorns flew this way and that way. And,
No.
Did you ever anticipate, you know, your music ever making it to the radio, or is just like, this is like, it's awesome that it's there?
No, I like fully anticipated it. It's definitely awesome that it's there, but like this is my goal, and like I definitely like was doing this to get success. You know what I mean? So as great as it all is, I don't think it necessarily surprises me. It's like what what I'm working for.
Now everyone thinks that at the same time it's, you know, it's easy and all that. What were the struggles of, you know, making it and working hard and the stuff that people don't see? What was the most challenging part of, you know, your career in general? Because I know you had to work hard. You had a lot of good stuff. You know, you went to school.
Yeah.
You know, you got a good job in San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, you sacrificed a lot. Like, share, if you can, just share those moments of like what was the biggest struggle before kind of blowing up.
The biggest struggle was just like actually like putting the time in and just like completely abandoning your entire old life. And it's just like for 2 years, like I just didn't do anything but work on this stuff. So it's like those 2 years while I was creating stuff, and like obviously like I'm really happy with the way those 2 years went. I wouldn't say like I was necessarily like a complete representation of happiness. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't just like smiling because I wasn't doing anything. Like borderline was like starting to go like a little stir crazy. But like I just knew that I had to go as hard as I could because you get like one first impression. I just didn't want to leave any stone unturned. So it's like working that hard and just without really like knowing for sure if it will pay off. Like you obviously believe and you have to do it, but really just having no social life, I would say, is but it's who cares?
It's worth it.
It's totally worth it. I don't like. I'm only complaining because you asked me to.
I just want.
Yeah.
You've done interviews before.
Yeah.
You know you're you know what you're doing. What's next for Lil Dicky? What's next on like album? You know what's next?
You know, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's an album. I think it's probably like an EP. So, like, I have an idea for an album, but the idea I have is like very ambitious, and I think it would take a long time to make. So in the meantime, I think smaller projects like an EP, for like a 6-song EP, where it's like really just 6 great songs, that compels me. Mm-hmm. That's where my head's at right now.
I like that. It's very good.
Yeah.
My last question. I know you're very busy. My last question is, you know, just for a lot of other people that, you know, have graduated. I went to college. I'm in law school right now.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you. I love, like, radio and all that stuff. And a lot of people, like, it's to say going to school, getting a good job is a safe route. But a lot of people don't want to pursue their real dreams of entertainment or whatever it is. Maybe flying kites. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give people that are kind of, like, on the border of, like, you know, I kind of want to pursue my dreams, but I don't want to get rid of that comfort space?
Well, I would say if you're on the border, if you're really like on the border, then I don't think you want it enough. And if you don't want it enough, then you're probably not going to succeed. So you really have to evaluate how much you actually want it and how much you think it's actually possible. Because you can't, if you're waffling, then the odds are that you're just not like, if you're like I never debated like, am I really going to work this hard? Like it was just very clear, you're going to like work as hard as you can, whatever happens, happens. But if you're debating whether or not it's worth the effort, then it's probably not worth the effort. You know what I mean? So my advice is like, you only get one life, I think, as far as I know. And you know, there's no reason to go to plan B until plan A fails. That's my mindset. So it's like, I don't know, I'm the kind of guy obviously who wants to live his ideal life, and I went for plan A, and thank God it worked. But if it didn't, I would feel a lot more comfortable with plan B if knowing that I made a great attempt at it. Like whereas if I didn't make the attempt, I probably would be working behind a cube wondering like what would have happened if I actually started rapping. And that would have been like way more depressing than trying and failing. Like the what if would have been way harder to deal with than failure.
I think you would have done great in Plan B too. You seem like a very creative man.
I would have been fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would have been like, you know, I would have been fine in an ad agency, and like I think I would have convinced myself that like, oh, this is a good life, and it would have been a solid good life. But it's an elevated level of happiness when you like really know that you're doing exactly what you want to do.
And are you in LA now or still or back to San Francisco or?
No, I'm in LA.
You like which one do you like better, LA or San Fran?
San Fran probably.
Polk Street. You like the bars over there?
Yeah, I like Polk Street. I would live there for 3 years. The thing is, I can't really properly evaluate LA because I don't, like I said, I haven't been socializing. Like I've just been like in a room since I've moved there. But lately, I've been social. I mean, the weather's great in LA. Like I do like a lot about LA, but I also had a lot of best friends in San Francisco, and I don't have a lot in LA, so it's not necessarily like the fairest comparison. But just visually and just like from a city perspective, I definitely like San Francisco more. Yeah.
I agree with that choice.
Yeah.
Best city, low key, San Diego. If you ever get a chance to migrate south,
Yeah.
you'll find that San Diego we're like the nicer cousin of LA, except
It's great. I learned to rollerblade in San Diego.
Huh?
I said I learned to rollerblade in San Diego.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you good or no?
Yeah. I'm okay.
I'm not
I used to be.
I can't.
But I was like 11 or something. I was on a vacation with my parents, and did it just? I'm just kidding. And then yeah, I rented blades and I became I never was a bike rider. I could never, like, that shit scares me. Can you curse? You can't even curse. I shouldn't have cursed. That stuff scares me. You can't go back in time. There's nothing I can do. I already cursed.
I tried riding a scooter and I failed.
Yeah.
I hope that's okay.
I'm a walker.
Me too. I need to walk more. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Little Dicky,
Happy birthday.
thank you. Thank you for sitting down and talking to me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Wish you nothing but the best. And then yeah, there you go. Any last words, brother?
No. I don't know. Yeah, I think we said it all.